Hey guys, welcome back. My name is Storm with Honey Rock Acres, and today is going to be a day of firsts for us. Today we're going to do our first, our smallest pig we've ever butchered. We're going to also do the largest pig we've ever butchered, so we're doing two today. This will be our first time trying to catch film of as much of it as we can. I think it's going to be just two of us, so filming will happen where it can, and I'm not sure what all I can show yet, so I'll show you what I can, but really the intent is not for this to be a how-to video, but just to show you guys how we do our butchering at home, you know, as unprofessionals, if you will. So for us, there's really kind of two parts. There is day one, when we'll do all the gutting and cleaning and skinning and that sort of stuff, and then we'll hang it. Or in our case, a lot of times it goes in the refrigerator just because it's not usually cold enough. And then tomorrow we'll come back and we'll do a lot of the breakdown. I'll usually, in the following days, I'll work through what I'm going to do with the bacon. I like to try to render the lard and that sort of stuff, doing some of the additional stuff, seasoning sausage and packaging that out. So I don't know if all of that will necessarily be in this video, but those are just some of the things that, you know, are kind of post-process stuff, if you will. So first things first, I actually haven't done morning chores yet, so I'm kind of getting everything prepped for that. On butcher days, we don't feed as early just because we don't want a full belly for the pigs that we're about to butcher. But we will go down and do that as part of it. So I'm getting prepared for that. And then this week's been really hectic, so I hadn't had a chance to get everything set up to do our butchering. So I've got to get that done.
We get another
boar. Yeah, I haven't figured out where yet, but the plan will be sometime probably next spring to start looking for one. Yeah. And yeah, I'll find one somewhere. I just got to figure out how to transport, because I don't have like a livestock trailer, and unless I buy like a small one, then I'll use like a dog kennel. Hey pig. What's up, Henry? Come here, buddy. I'm sorry, buddy. So we're gonna go ahead and get Henry, and we're gonna get the runt back here, and I think we're gonna go ahead and just take both together so that there's no risk of Henry acting up. And yeah, we're gonna see how it goes. Guess he's enjoying himself beforehand, but
I think Henry is.
Yeah. Anyway, so we're gonna go ahead and do this part. I'm not gonna show this part, but I'm not looking forward to it. I'm kind of sad to see Henry go, because outside of making a big mistake, he's been a otherwise pretty good boar. But anyways, I'll bring you guys back when we can start to show some stuff. All right, so got the first one done. This was the runt, and after doing all the gutting and everything, we have 23 pounds. So we're gonna try to do a whole smoke, but we're working with a cabinet smoker. So what we're gonna do is go ahead and quarter this guy, to make them a little easier to fit. So that's what I'm going to work on. And then while I'm doing that, everybody else is working on getting Henry ready to gut. So yeah, I will say one thing about skinning as opposed to scalding is there's a lot more hair to deal with, but it is what it is. We'll start with.
Hey, did you want to weigh him before we do this?
I'm okay waiting until as long as we get a weight before we start to break him down, I'll be okay with it.
All right, yeah.
Because we can take a guess at.
Yeah, we just, like you said, it's 53%. So.
First thing, make sure you get a good sharp knife. Doing any of this with a dull knife is a good way to get cut. So just honing it. And this is a Victorinox knife. I think it's a 6-inch boning knife. I love this thing. First thing I'm going to do is just clean up some of the bloody parts. And then try to get through the leg. Now with the pigs, you got to cut them down. They've got that elbow joint that protrudes quite a bit, and you can just take a bone saw and come right through the bone, but it's easy enough just to work until you find the joint, and a good knife, you'll be able to cut right through that joint. Get some of the skin out of the way here. Alright, so I'm not going to fully quarter this because I just don't think it's necessary. So we're just going to make one cut, keep the belly together. And we're going to find a joint here right at the base of the tail bone. Work between that joint.
Oh, here it goes, buddy. There we go.
Cut through the cartilage there. Need to get my cutting board under it so I don't nick my blade on the table. Alright, and we're through. Oh, nope, a little bit more cartilage right there. There we go. And, yep. Alright, and I'm just following the contour of that leg. And we'll leave the rest of this as one piece. It'll fit on the shelf in the smoker quite nicely. And yeah, I'll still spend some time getting some hair off of it. Alright, so now that I've got this stuff all cleaned up, I'll try to do a little seasoning. I'm going to start with some salt. I'll probably be pretty generous with the salt.
Bud,
Yeah. A little bit of sweet rub. Some pepper. And try a little bit of basil. Flip all these over, do the other side, and then see what we need to do to get them in the smoker. All right, so we've moved inside. We've got Henry on the table, and we're gonna do a little bit of filming on this. It's just been, for the sake of time, doing 2 pigs. We just haven't done a lot, and some of that's probably a little too much gore for television. But we're working on quartering Henry now, and actually Dad's doing all the work. I'm just watching and silently judging him.
Right there. The cartilage.
Got it. So anyways, we're like I said, we're working on quartering it. We're gonna stick it in the fridge, just I don't know, peace of mind on letting it cool overnight, and then we'll end up getting into actually the breakdown and stuff tomorrow. So we've got the run on the smoker. We're gonna let it smoke all day today, or the rest of the day today, and then through tomorrow, and then we'll keep checking on it periodically.
And that's why you put a wooden cutting board under there, so you don't damage your knife when you hit the steel table when you go up.
Yeah, so that's a good point. So even if you're cooking, or cutting rather, on a stainless table, you want to put something underneath, because inevitably your knife's going to poke through and hit that table, and it'll roll your edge, and you got to re-hone it every time. And so put some cutting boards underneath when you're breaking these down. It's save your blade.
There's another slab ready to go.
Right. Well, I'm going to try to set up a time lapse, see if we can get as much of this as possible, and show you guys what we're doing. All right, so we've got Henry quartered and in the fridge. We're gonna just work on cleanup now, but I don't think I ever told you guys Henry's weights. So we weighed him before we started taking off parts, and he would have been roughly 170 pounds. And so we didn't weigh him after we gutted him and skinned him, but we're estimating that he would have been somewhere in the ballpark of about 80 pounds worth of what I'm calling freezer meat. So he's still got bones and stuff in him. We'll lose a little bit as we continue to trim and do the breakdown. But overall, not too bad. I actually thought Henry was going to weigh a little bit more. So I thought he was going to probably be closer to 200, maybe a little over. So a little bit surprising, but you know, not the end of the world. I got to admit, it's been a little bit kind of a disappointing, like butchering Henry. He was, and frankly is a critical start to our homesteading journey, being the first boar that we've used to breed. And he provided, us our first births, if you will. Or at least he did the boar's part of that. But so yeah, it's a little disappointing to see him go, but I'm choosing to treat it as a close of the first chapter and give us the opportunity to kind of branch out, maybe get to know another farmer, and acquire another boar for our herd. So not too bad. But like I said, we're going to kind of do a little bit of cleanup. I'm gonna go out and check on the runt, who has been in the smoker now for about 2 hours, and we'll see how that's coming along. We're expecting that to be a tomorrow night kind of dinner. All right, there we go. Forgive me if the lighting's a little off. Let's come on around here and take a look. Yeah, not too shabby. I am gonna have to go get some more pellets though. It's a Pit Boss pellet smoker. I love that thing. I know that some people say, oh, that's cheating and it's not really smoking because, you're not stoking the fire and managing the temps. Yeah, it's a cheat code, but it works and it tastes really good and I love it. So it is what it is. Hey guys, welcome back. It's a new day. We're on to day 2 of our butchering. And it's a little bit of say a nicer day, but it's a little warmer. It's still gloomy and overcast. Not sunny like it was yesterday, but the temps have warmed up a little. And we just got back from church a few minutes ago. And I'm coming out here to check on our pig that we put in the smoker yesterday. So it's pretty much done at this point. Just letting it sort of marinate, if you will, and hold temp for a little while. Might risk drying it out, but I got it in too late to finish yesterday and too early to really cook all day today, so we're kind of in the middle, but we're going to take a look because it smells really good. Partially wrapped it. So that's looking pretty good. Smells good. Got both of the rear legs, the hams if you will, and up here's the other midsection. So yeah, it's going pretty good. Come over here, take a look. So yeah, that's been going for a little while and smells good. And we're about to get in the house and start working on our breakdown. The rest of the company will be coming to help me in a little bit, but for now I'm gonna go ahead and get started because this part actually takes longer, in my opinion, than the other. And this is also the part that's maybe the most technical, if you will, knowing kind of where to cut and all that stuff, which we're still kind of learning ourselves. But we're gonna get in and start trying to break it down, and I'll probably put you guys on a time lapse for most of that and let you see how we're doing. And then to wrap things up, we like to, or at least I like to, use a combination of vacuum sealer, butcher paper, and large like Ziploc bags. We'll see how this one pans out, but I like to put a lot of this stuff in a vacuum sealer just because it helps keep it from getting freezer burnt. So a decent one's not too expensive, and I'll show you a little bit about the one that I'm using, and if anybody's interested, I'll share a link in the description to it because I got it on Amazon last year and it's been working great for me. Something I wanted to make note of before I got too far along here, and you may have noticed it a little bit yesterday, these bussing tubs are, in my opinion, pretty critical to doing this and kind of making it easy and organized. When you're breaking these down, you're gonna have like scrap pieces, and most of the time the scrap pieces make perfect base for sausage. And that's where most of your sausage comes from, is miscellaneous cutoffs, or the shoulder roast or something, if you want to just sausage the whole thing. But I like to take these bussing tubs and I'll stick them underneath the table, and so you'll see me reaching under the table from time to time, and I'm usually putting one that's just throwaway stuff that's maybe it's too bloody and we don't want to keep it for whatever reason, or occasionally you might drop something and we'll throw it into the throwaway bucket. We'll have one for like fat, for rendering, so as you're trimming, you'll trim off the extra fat, put it in a bucket, and you'll use some of that maybe for rendering lard, and maybe some of it for mixing into your sausage. And then of course we'll have one that's just your trimmings for your sausage. So and then a lot of times we'll take and we'll piece out the different pieces, we'll stick it in these tubs, stick it back in the fridge, and then we'll come back to it a little bit later for packaging. So we usually will go through most of the breakdown, and then we'll start packaging, especially if I'm doing it solo. All right, so we finally finished up all the breakdown, and now we're going to move on to packaging. And I'm going to show you guys kind kind of our little setup, if you will. We just cleaned up the table. I've got a scale, because I just like to weigh the stuff. Totally unnecessary, but I like to have it. We use the vacuum sealer and then the butcher paper. So this is the one we like to use, or the one that I've been using. Works really well. Apparently you can use it to do like cans as well, but I haven't tried that yet. Yeah, it's got a built-in cutter. Got the little seals. Heat. Nothing fancy. It wasn't super expensive, but also not the cheapest. Works really well. Then just a scale. It's a shipping scale, but it works really well to put a bussing tub on it, zero it out, and measure your food before you package it. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Big old roll of butcher paper that's kept in there. Hey guys, welcome back. We are on day 3, and that is because we decided we didn't want to finish yesterday. So we're chunking up the meat, and we're going to stick it in the grinder over here, which is over there.
Make 80 pounds of sausage.
And we're going to make a whole lot of sausage. I don't know how much we're going to end up with. But we didn't weigh this yet, have we?
No.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of sausage. But that's because we took most of the belly and we're making sausage instead of trying to do bacon, because bacon's hard. And
He was tough.
yeah, and he's a little tougher. So yeah, I'll let you guys watch on time lapse, and yeah, we'll come back to you later and we'll weigh all this.
I'm going to say 14 pounds.
All right, so we finished grinding up a whole lot of sausage, and we're gonna see if we can guess at the weight. So what was your guess?
14.
14 pounds?
Yep.
You guys should try to guess too, before I tell you.
What are you saying?
I'm guessing 15. I'm going 15.
Okay.
These are, you know, closest not going over rules.
Well, let's see. Survey says.
Wow.
What is it?
You want to take another guess?
Did I go high or low?
Low.
Really? Because at first I was going to say it's about 26 pounds, but...
Did you see it?
No, I didn't see it. Really? Wow. I was going to say 26, and I thought, well, I'm trying to figure the last big one we got 11 pounds or 13 pounds.
Yeah. Now we did grind
A lot more.
Yeah, so
This is true.
So the scale says 26.1. Oh, I got my hand on it. 26.1. The tub's about 1.5 pounds. So we got at least roughly 25 pounds or so. And we ended up grinding all of both bellies because, again, there wasn't a lot of fat content left on the belly to make good bacon, and also baking is a little bit of a challenge. But his
bacon is good.
Yeah, it's good.
But it is such a pain.
Yeah, it is. If you've never made bacon, it's a pain.
Intensive. I don't want to say pain, but it is work intensive.
It's a lot more work than making sausage. It's like a grinder and some seasoning, and voila, you got sausage.
Yeah, you get 9 days of letting your bacon sit in the bags, flipping them and turning them, letting them season, then washing them, rinsing them, then smoking them.
Yeah, it's good.
But it's good.
It's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work.
The other thing playing against us was...
Yeah, ask if anybody's ever heard of how...
So, a lot of the fat that was on Henry is really tough. Like
armor.
Like armor tough. It was really hard to cut through with a sharp knife. The grinder did not like it. And honestly, this is some of the softer stuff here, but some of this was very tough. And I'm curious if any of you guys have ever seen that before, because this was probably our 5th or 6th pig, probably our 6th pig.
At least a 6.
And I've never run into that. We've never run into any of the fat that wasn't, easy enough to cut.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this stuff was rough.
It's like that cutting board almost.
Yeah, rock solid. So, anyways, but I think that's all we're gonna do. Like I said, the sausage, we're just gonna throw some seasoning in it, measure it out, throw some seasoning in it, and package it up. But hopefully you guys found a little bit of this helpful. Any of the useful utensils that I used, the knife, some of the sealer and the grinder and stuff, I'll leave links for those things in the description. And hopefully we'll see you again soon. You guys have a great day. Thanks.